Cannonier and Sean Strickland targeted for October 15th via Ariel Helwani. Says it is not signed just yet, but that is the date they are working for and that they are planning for as a 5-round main event for October 15th. Now, I'm not too sure what other fights are on that October 15th card, but this is going to be the main event, and it is going to be 5 rounds. I do know Sean Strickland is pretty good at 5-round fights, because he's got good cardio, he's good in the later rounds and things like that, and, you know, he can mix in some wrestling if he doesn't need to later on in the fights. So the card that he's going to be the main event on is going to have Jonathan Martinez, Cub Swanson, Brandon Royval, Askar Askarov, you got Alexa Grasso, Viviane Araújo, and Tatsuro Taira on the prelims as well. So it's going to be the main event of that card. Early prediction for me is tough. It's very, very tough because, I mean, Strickland, you would say, you would say most likely he's probably going to win the fight because, you know, he's got more volume than Jared Cannonier. He's going to throw a lot more punches than Jared Cannonier. He can mix in the takedowns, the wrestling, the grappling, the control time, and things like that. You would think so, but you also would think so that Sean Strickland would do that in a fight with Alex Pereira. But guess what? He did not do any of that. He did not wrestle. He did not grapple. He didn't do any of that with Alex Pereira, which leads me to believe maybe he won't do that here, and this will be a striking fight, making this one a little bit closer. If he does mix in the wrestling, if he does mix in the grappling, a little bit of clinch work and things like that, trying to kind of wear on the gas tank and the cardio of Jared Cannonier, I do think Sean Strickland will win a very good-looking decision like he did with Jack Hermanson a while back. But it really comes down to the game plan of Sean Strickland. So right now, I mean, I'm going to need to hear an interview from Sean Strickland, like a video of him saying, you know, I learned my lesson from the last fight. I got knocked out by Alex Pereira. I didn't wrestle in that fight. This time, you know, I'm going to wrestle in the second fight here with Jared Cannonier. This time, I'm going to mix in some wrestling and kind of work on that cardio of Jared Cannonier. So it really just depends on what Sean does. But what do y'all think? Who wins this new main event for October 15th? Sean Strickland or Jared Cannonier? 5 rounds in the middleweight division. Terrance McKinney calls out 2 more people. I know I said the last name a little bit incorrectly right there, but we have 2 call-outs from Terrance McKinney. I think it's time for me to get a veteran, McKinney said. They saw how I did against Drew Dober, so they know I'm ready for that now. And they see me picking my shots. I think I show my growth. I think I'm 1 or 2 more fights of being ranked in the UFC's lightweight division. I got every skill set to hang with anyone in the top 15. And his call-outs are Jim Miller and Bobby Green. Jim Miller and, of course, Terrance McKinney just beat the same opponent in Eric Gonzalez. Terrance McKinney did it a little bit faster, so that would be a pretty good fight. Winner might maybe get a top 15 fight. Bobby Green as well, another guy that only really loses to guys inside of that top 15. So I like either one of these fights. Jim Miller versus Terrance McKinney or Bobby Green versus Terrance McKinney. Personally, I would rather go for the fight with Bobby Green. I think that'd be amazing striking, and then McKinney could mix in some wrestling as well. But what do y'all think? McKinney versus Bobby Green? McKinney versus Jim Miller? McKinney versus Paddy Pimblett? Who do y'all want him to fight next in the lightweight division? Cris Cyborg making a pro boxing debut, fighting Jake Paul in a main event. Jake Paul's opponents just keep on pulling out. Tyson Fury, or whatever his brother's name is, and then the Hasim Rahman Jr. They both pulled out of fights with a Jake Paul, and the next best option has presented himself to Jake Paul. Cris Cyborg is joining boxing to fight Jake Paul on short notice. This is some crazy I'm joking. Come on, guys. I'm joking, guys. She's not fighting Jake Paul, but Cyborg is fighting a fighter that has a 17-21 boxing record and a former super bantamweight champion in Brazilian promotion Pink Punch, and a former opponent of Amanda Serrano and lost by 3rd round knockout. I'm going to say it right now. They're giving Cyborg an easy money fight. That's all we got to know. So, Cris Cyborg is going to get an easy boxing money fight and get a nice knockout win. Round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever round, she's going to get the knockout in the male's featherweight division. Jan Blachowicz responds after Magomed Ankalaev says this fight is a done deal. Ankalaev, I believe yesterday or the day before that, had an article come out with him saying word for word that the fight with Jan Blachowicz was a done deal for a main event of a fight night, and we have the response from Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz says, actually this is Magomed Ankalaev's tweet right here, "Be ready, I'm getting bored already after my last fights. Mick Maynard 2, keep giving me easy fight, everyone is easy for me." And then Jan Blachowicz, "So you say people call you the Nigerian Nightmare," talking about fighting Kamaru Usman, but Magomed Ankalaev wants that fight with Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz, our fight is a done deal. Let's promote our fight. I respect the Polish power. Let's go forget about the other guys. It's me versus you. Now, Blachowics comes back right here with facts. As a first male fighter in Poland, I became the UFC champion. Because of my work, my name garners respect. Never shied away from a challenge. I went to the UFC to create moments for the fans. I'm not done yet. Then right here, at Dana White, no bull, no politics, no nonsense. Give me Jiří Procházka, and I'll give you the biggest MMA fight in Europe's history. Unlike him, I always keep my word. And then Jan Blachowicz right there responding to Magomed Ankalaev. MMA math doesn't work. I was almost out of the UFC, made adjustments, and became a champion. That's referring to Magomed, talking about you lose your last 2 fights, title shot earned, not given. So, what do y'all think? Magomed saying it's a done deal. It is obviously not a done deal in this light heavyweight division. Jan Blachowicz says this is a dumb statement. Learn to read with comprehension. I mean, there's all sorts of little back and forth coming from Jan Blachowicz to Magomed Ankalaev. I do believe the fight actually will happen. I think we're going to see Glover Teixeira go and rematch Jiří Procházka, and this fight will be the #1 contender fight. What do y'all think? Do you believe Ankalaev and that it is an actual fight that is a done deal in the light heavyweight division, or do you think Magomed is just trying to do anything possible to get this fight done? What do y'all think about this in the light heavyweight division? Uriah Hall, UFC middleweight veteran, announces his MMA retirement today on his Instagram. Puts this picture of him walking in, getting ready for one of his fights that was in the past, and he has this to say in the comment section right here. "It is with great sadness that I will be stepping away from the greatest sport in the world. I'm gonna miss the incredible UFC staff that have become family and mentors I have met all along the way." Hall wrote, "The UFC have given the best opportunity to step completely outside my comfort zone. Throughout the years, I've gone up against some of the best in the world at the highest level. Although I did not achieve the rank of world champion, I have acquired some of my greatest achievements from mixed martial arts, and that was facing my fears and becoming a champion in life." So that's what he had to say with a 10-win, 9-loss record inside of the UFC against some good fighters. I mean, Uriah Hall has fought the who's who of the middleweight division. If we go right here to wherever we can find a damn middleweight to press on for the UFC rankings, and we check out all of the fights that Uriah Hall has had in UFC history, it doesn't look like the best record. You see 10 wins, 9 losses as his entire record as a mixed martial artist. You're like, that's not the best record. Maybe Uriah Hall is a little overrated, but the dude beat some legit guys in his career. Let's check out all the guys Uriah Hall has beaten inside of the UFC. So first off, he loses the future title challenger Kelvin Gastelum, split decision loss after that one. Beats a title challenger Thiago Santos right there, loses to Rafael Natal by split decision. Not to mention, all 3 of those losses were split decisions. Let's get on with that. After that, got a nice knockout win, knocked out Bellator champion, one of the greatest middleweights of all time, probably top 10 of all time, Gegard Mousasi in the second round. Fought a champion Robert Whittaker to a decision. Fought Derek Brunson right there, a top 5 in middleweight. Fought Gegard Mousasi again, one of the greats. Beat Cris Shevchenko, a top 20 middleweight in the world. Lost to Paulo Costa, a title challenger. beat Antonio Carlos Jr., PFL champion, beat Anderson Silva, the UFC champion, the greatest middleweight of all time, beat Chris Weidman, UFC champion, Sean Strickland, a top 10 middleweight, and then Andre Muniz, a top 10 middleweight. Every single guy this man has fought and lost to has been a legit guy. From the start, fighting Kelvin Gastelum in his UFC debut, to fighting Andre Muniz at the end of his career. He's been fighting nothing but killers in this UFC middleweight division, and he's finally retired after 2 straight losses to Sean Strickland and Andre Muniz. I mean, before that, he was doing great. I mean, he had, 3 knockout wins and 1 decision over some very good competition, and he was rising the rankings. Sad to see him go. That is the retirement of Uriah Hall. Rose Namajunas talks potential move to the flyweight division to beat one of the greatest to ever do it, Valentina Shevchenko. She wants to pack on some muscle, stay out of competition for a while, and go John Jones mode, packing on muscle, putting in some roids as well, and moving up a weight class to take on one of the best of all time. Win or lose going into the last fight, I knew I was going to take some time off. Namajunas told the MMA Fighting. I knew I was going to take at least the summer off, I'll say around September. I'll know exactly what I'll be doing. I've been training a little bit, but not super consistent. I did have this little shoulder injury that I've been trying to rehab, and there was this girl, Isis Verbeek, who just won her Invicta FC fight that came into town, so I got to train with her a little bit. But some side like that, I've been trying to stay active. I'm not on the couch completely. So she's actually looking to move up and fight Valentina Shevchenko. This is crazy news, because Valentina is looking for a potential fighter. She's looking for a potential girl that she can fight. Manon Fiorot's there. Caitlin Chukagian rematch is there. It's either you rematch anyone in the flyweight division for Valentina, you go up and fight Amanda Nunes for the bantamweight belt, or you take this fight, Rose Namajunas versus Valentina Shevchenko. Rose Namajunas has good jiu-jitsu. She's got a decent ground game. Could go out there and take the fight down. Striking is going to be very good. I'd love to see this fight. But what do y'all think? Who would win? Rose Namajunas or the girl, Valentina Shevchenko, in the women's flyweight division? Do you think the fight ever even gets made? Or do you think Namajunas just says, alright, nah, I'm not going to do that, and goes back down to the strawweight division? Christos Giagos slices his pinky on a toilet. Now, you might see this title and be just like me, like, what in the world? How are you slicing your pinky on a toilet? That's crazy. A freak injury makes him withdraw from UFC France against Benoit Saint-Denis on the prelims. I thought Benoit was going to win the fight. I thought Giagos was going to lose. But right here, he's in a little wrap, and he cut his pinky finger on a toilet. How? I was getting some cleaning done, and while wiping down a piece of my grill in the trash, my hand hit a broken porcelain toilet, and it gashed my hand open, cutting a tendon in my pinky. Giagos revealed. Unfortunately, due to severity of the injury, I had to pull out. I mean, I understand you cutting your finger on all. What is the chance? A piece of broken toilet cuts your finger? I don't even know what piece. Was it the handle? Was it what piece cut your pinky and made your whole tendon cut and rip, or whatever the case may be? That is crazy. I would never in a million years think about a UFC fighter getting a fight canceled because of a pinky getting cut by their toilet. That is insane. And that there's a first for everything. This is definitely a first right here. But crazy news in the lightweight division. That is it for today's MMA news. We had the biggest story of the day, Jared Cannonier versus Sean Strickland, targeted for October 15th. The main event's most likely going to be in Las Vegas in the UFC Apex. We got Terrance McKinney calling out both Jim Miller and Bobby Green for his next UFC fight. We also had Cris Cyborg stepping in to fight Jake Paul on short notice. We also had, okay, this is a good one right here. You had some good trash talk between Jan Blachowics and Magomed Ankalaev. I mean, Magomed's talking about the fight is a done deal. Jan Blachowics is like, nope, me want championship. I want championship. That's all he can really say at this moment in time. So that the beef right there is getting a little heated. And maybe we do see the fight. Ankalaev versus Jan Blachowics. I'd love to see it. I just don't know if the UFC is going to make it. They might just give Ankalaev the title fight and do the rematch with Blachowics versus Glover. But you never know. We shall see what happens in that lightweight division. We got Uriah Hall actually retiring from MMA right there. We had a few other things right here. In Christos Giagos slicing his dang pinky. What? On a broken toilet, and he is out of UFC Paris. And then Rose Namajunas moving to the flyweight division. Possibly, she's going to be gaining mass, doing a lot of lifting, making herself a bigger mixed martial artist, a stronger mixed martial artist, and plans as a return fight to possibly go in that flyweight division to fight Valentina Shevchenko. What do y'all think about today's MMA news? What do you guys think about this crazy main event, Cannonier versus Strickland? Put your prediction down below, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.